Yep, that title's pretty spot on. Weird, the Al Yankovic Story is brought to us by director Eric Appel and stars Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Rachel Wood, and Rainn Wilson. Weird explores every facet of Yankovic's life, from his meteoric rise to fame with early hits like Eat It and Like a Surgeon, to his torrid celebrity love affairs and famously depraved lifestyle. So Weird is a biopic? Actually, it's kind of like the anti-biopic. With other biopics like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocketman, or even further back with something like Great Balls of Fire, we get like a look into these famous people's lives, things we didn't know about them, a snapshot of their life, if you will. Weird is not that. If you go into this movie expecting a true-to-life Weird Al Yankovic biopic, well, you're gonna be disappointed, because this is something completely different. This is something kind of out there. This is something weird. I said the title was pretty spot on. This is a comedic look at this comedian's life. Nothing, and I mean nothing, I'm pretty sure, in this movie is accurate. Sure, Weird Al Yankovic is a real person. Yes, he does play the xylophone. Yeah, I'm sure he met a lot of these people, and yes, he does and did parody a whole bunch of songs. But what I'm pretty sure he did not do is originally come up with Eat It before Michael Jackson came up with Beat It. Get into a long-term, pretty destructive relationship with Madonna, go on a murderous rampage through the jungle to try and save his kidnapped girlfriend that, by the way, was kidnapped by Pablo Escobar, and kill someone with a mini platinum record that he wore around his neck, among many other things in this movie. Yeah, if you hadn't guessed it, this movie is a little bit of a different take on a famous person's life. Now, all biopics have a bit of drama added in, and they are all adaptations of someone's life story, but this adaptation has been highly modified. But that is what made this movie so much fun. I don't think I've laughed so much consistently from beginning to end in a movie in quite a while. And most definitely not since the last time I said that exact same thing. This movie is fucking hilarious. Now, when the movie first starts, it says brought to you by Funny or Die, and this gave me pause. I love Funny or Die skits. Those things are some of the funniest shit on the internet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to their YouTube channel. Check out Lance Reddick's Worst Boss Ever. I think it's called Toys Are Me or Toys for Me or something like that. Just look it up. That's some funny ass shit that will stick with you forever. Not to mention Don Cheadle's turn as Captain Planet, just all of that. Just go check it out. Now, that being said, when I saw a Funny or Die film, I thought, hey, I love Funny or Die. That's some funny ass shit in small doses on the internet, and that's when I started to get a bit worried. This is gonna be an hour and 45-ish minute long movie. Is this going to get a bit old? And I gotta say, for the most part, no, it didn't. This was just some funny shit from beginning to end. It is so just ridiculous and fucking weird the whole time that you just can't help but be along on this ride. Never does the movie try and be serious. It fully commits to this comedy that it starts in the very beginning. Now, that being said, I will say about halfway through the film, there is a bit of a lull. The movie never gets boring, it never gets bad. I was still laughing, but it did start to wear a bit thin. However, that only really lasts for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then it quickly picks back up and goes out on a, well, literal bang. Some of the best parts of the movie are the people that Weird Al comes in contact with. There's a whole lot of famous characters in this movie played by other famous people. It kind of became a game to kind of like pick out all these famous people in the background and in the foreground just throughout the whole movie, and then pick out the famous people that are playing these famous people. A lot of these picks are funny as hell themselves, and I don't want to ruin any of it here because that's half the fun. It's throughout the film, but there is one scene in particular that's a pool party that is just a cavalcade of famous people played by other famous people, and that shit was just funny as hell. I was laughing my ass off that entire scene. Hell, I was laughing my ass off this entire movie. This is very much Funny or Die levels of humor, so if you enjoyed the humor on Funny or Die, you're going to like this. If you don't like Funny or Die's humor, you're probably not going to be into it. And if you have very valid concerns like I did as to whether they're going to be able to keep that up for this extended runtime, yes, they do. They keep the jokes and everything going on in the film fresh for the vast majority of the time. I mean, it gets really fucking out there and does not really stick to reality much at all, but that doesn't change the fact that this movie was still fun as hell. The performances in this movie are absolutely what sold it, and everybody here did a great job. Now, nobody here is really giving a serious, dramatic performance or anything, but everybody is doing a fantastic job playing these caricatures of actual people. Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al was a fucking inspired choice. When I first heard about his casting a while back when this movie was announced, I was like, really? Daniel Radcliffe? Harry Potter is Weird Al? But then in this movie you see it and you're like, holy shit, that fucking works. There's nobody else I see in this role besides Weird Al, which, yes, by the way, he is in the movie as well, not playing himself. Can you pick him out? Well, everybody from Jack Black to Quinta Brunson, Rainn Wilson, Patton Oswalt, Conan O'Brien, the list goes on. Everybody does a great job with the roles they're given. I gotta say, the one that did rival Radcliffe would be Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna. Holy shit, there were times when she showed up on screen, I was like, is that actually Madonna? At times, the only way that I knew that that really wasn't Madonna was that I know Madonna's old as shit now and she doesn't look like that anymore. But as far as Madonna from the 80s, Rachel Wood did a fantastic job here. Yes, the performance is heightened and over the top, but damn, she was Madonna in this movie. Overall, the performances were what sold this movie, and they were all fantastic and fantastically funny as hell. And that just goes for the movie as a whole. There's not much more I can say about this thing. I don't want to ruin anything. I will just say that, yeah, man, this movie is weird as shit, but it is funny as hell too. Guys, Weird, the Al Yankovic story was a great time. I was really looking forward to this movie, but I wasn't necessarily looking forward to this movie being all that good, and it really blew me away. It's ridiculous, it's over the top, it is the absolute opposite of truth at every turn, but it is just funny and fun as hell through and through. It is very Funny or Die levels of humor, and if that's not your thing, this movie's not going to change your mind, but if you are into that, you are really going to enjoy this. It has a bit of a lull about halfway through, but that lull does not last very long, and it quickly picks back up and ends in a fantastically hilarious way. This may not be the movie that I was expecting, and it may not be the movie that I thought I wanted, but it absolutely was, and it is totally worth a rip.
All he wanted was this.
I have to return some videotape.
I had a great time with this movie and laughed my ever-living ass off throughout. So if you like that kind of humor that I described, then check this one out one night, and I think you're gonna have a fucking fantastic time with it. So there it is, guys, my review of Weird, the Al Yankovic story. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below. Become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits to go along with that, like these guys. And possibly check out my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Silverlock and Marge G. And check out my new subscriptions here on YouTube right below. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Linwood.
In front of all the billions of people watching around the world right now, all I want to say is be as weird as you want to be.
If this movie proves anything, it's that we need more Daniel Radcliffe, just all around. We need Daniel Radcliffe in all the things. The guy is phenomenal in this movie, and he's been pretty awesome in everything he's been in since he left Hogwarts. I mean, really, name a bad Daniel Radcliffe thing that he's been in. I mean, yeah, sure, there was that thing with the horse. I don't really know if it was good or bad, but I know he got his dick out for it, but whatever. The guy's like a national treasure now. I mean, yeah, granted, he is British, so I guess he's kind of their national treasure, but whatever, we're taking him. He's our national treasure now.